At 2:20 a.m. on September 26, 1983, one man sitting in a dimly lit bunker deep inside the Soviet Union made a decision that quietly saved the United States and possibly the entire world from nuclear annihilation. His name was Stanislav Petrov, and history almost forgot him. The Cold War was at its most dangerous point. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a tense standoff, each side armed with thousands of nuclear warheads, each side trained to respond within minutes to any sign of attack. Earlier that month, the Soviet military had shot down Korean Airlines Flight 007 after it accidentally entered Soviet airspace, killing 269 civilians, including a U.S. congressman. Relations between the superpowers were icy, paranoid, and primed for disaster. On that night, Petrov was the duty officer at Serpukhov 15, a secret Soviet early warning facility responsible for monitoring U.S. missile launches via satellite. His job was simple and terrifying. If the system detected incoming American nuclear missiles, he had to report it immediately up the chain of command. Soviet doctrine required a rapid retaliatory strike. There would be no time for debate. Suddenly, alarms screamed through the bunker. The satellite system reported that a U.S. intercontinental ballistic missile had been launched toward the Soviet Union. Moments later, the system escalated the warning. Not one missile, but 5 were now inbound. The computer screens flashed red, sirens blared. Every protocol said the attack was real. Petrov's training told him what to do. The system was designed to be nearly foolproof. Computers did not panic. Computers did not lie. If he reported this as a confirmed attack, Soviet leadership would have minutes to decide whether to launch a massive nuclear counterstrike, one that would almost certainly include targets across the United States. Washington, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, entire American cities could be erased before anyone even knew Petrov's name. But something felt wrong. Petrov hesitated. A real U.S. first strike, he reasoned, would not involve just 5 missiles. American strategy would demand an overwhelming attack designed to disable Soviet retaliation completely. 5 missiles made no strategic sense. It felt more like a technical error than the opening of World War III.
Yet trusting his instinct meant disobeying protocol. If he was wrong, the Soviet Union could be destroyed because he failed to act. If he was right, reporting a false alarm could trigger a war that would kill tens of millions, including millions of Americans. Petrov chose to trust his judgment. He reported the alert as a false alarm. For agonizing minutes, the bunker waited. Radar systems that tracked missiles closer to Earth showed nothing. No explosions followed. No impact confirmations came in. Slowly, it became clear. There was no attack. The system had failed. Later investigations revealed the cause. Sunlight, reflecting off high-altitude clouds, had fooled Soviet satellites into interpreting the glare as missile launches from U.S. bases. A rare alignment of atmospheric conditions, combined with flawed software logic, had nearly ended human civilization. Petrov was not celebrated as a hero. Instead, he was reprimanded for improperly filling out paperwork and for deviating from procedure. The Soviet military preferred silence. Admitting the system's vulnerability would expose a terrifying weakness. Petrov quietly left the military and lived modestly in Russia, struggling financially and emotionally, carrying the weight of what almost happened. Meanwhile, the United States never knew how close it came to disaster. It wasn't until the 1990s, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, that Petrov's story became public. Western journalists and historians slowly uncovered the truth. American audiences were stunned to learn that their survival during one of the tensest moments of the Cold War had depended not on advanced technology or political leaders, but on one man's calm skepticism. In 2004, Petrov received the World Citizen Award at the United Nations. In 2014, he was honored in New York with the Dresden Peace Prize. Yet even then, he downplayed his role, insisting he was simply the right man in the right place. Stanislav Petrov died in 2017, largely unknown to the world he saved. No monuments mark the moment he chose doubt over doctrine. No national holiday remembers the night when nuclear war almost began because of sunlight and clouds. But for the United States and for humanity, his decision stands as one of the most astonishing, fragile, and sobering moments in history. The Cold War did not end that night, but the world did. And then, quietly, it didn't, because one man chose not to press a button.